I don't know.
That's actually taken, by the way.
But yeah, we're live from the Good News app as well as YouTube, the Good News Sports YouTube channel. So you tap in with us right there. We're live on air looking like shit.
TGN Sports.
So get on there.
I look like I got a
roast
buff-ass
us,
arm.
Just have
talk
a
shit
great
to us,
face for radio.
whatever you got to do. Yeah.
Wait, what?
You just got a great face for radio, you know?
We all do. Pete's the only one who has no beard. I just want to point that out.
You call that a beard?
Hey, you know what?
I don't even
That's
think that's
fucked
a
up.
beard, man.
That's
What is
clearly
that?
a beard here. I know
You
it's
you look like a sophomore trying to grow out his beard.
that's disrespectful.
Like, hey, bro, you see how my
shit
chin
is
strap
clean though.
connects?
My hairline
Hey, bro,
is
my chin
pristine.
strap connects. I just got the 3
All,
hairs
no,
right
all
here
my
in
shit connects,
between.
bro. All my shit connects. It's just not as defined in the middle because I got fat cheeks. So that's why I got some beard oil. So I'm growing my shit out. Leave me alone. Fucking bully.
You got a fucking trapezoid on your cheek, bro. You got a fucking a walking geometry lesson out here.
This is why people don't get in our groups in our chats because you're an asshole.
All right.
that's
Speaking of assholes, man ratings dropped this week, and so
Shout out
well,
to X Squad affiliates, by the way. And
shout out and FBC Radio, yeah, and everyone else who fucks with us. But yeah,
shout out to Monchies. By the way, the TGN, the Good News Sports Showcase, is this Saturday, July 31st, the last day of July. Joxer Dailies in Culver City off Washington. And on top of that,
don't get the wings.
wow.
Fish and chips is all right, though.
Get the beer, get the chicken tenders. There'll probably be some candy being given out, ring pops, because you know.
And there's a cool strip club down the street.
I mean,
Not that I would know.
I mean, we're not talking about skins because that was overpriced as hell, and I'm still upset about that. But whatever. Bottom line is, yeah, from 5 to 8 o'clock, 5:30 to 8 o'clock, all the Good News Sports shows gonna have our own showcase. So tap in, show up, drink, be merry. You know, bring somebody you don't like, bring somebody you do like, bring somebody you're cheating with, or I don't know,
And
bring
don't get
one.
caught.
if you want to get
just
caught,
don't
this
get
might be
caught.
the great place to dump somebody is at a podcast showcase. And then they can't say it wasn't a nice evening and that like the people on stage weren't killing it.
The topic of the night would be like, do you remember that one bitch that got crazy over there?
You remember that chick said, "I will cut you," and then she broke like a whole like jug over the side of a desk and then shivved a guy.
And then there's cops and no, just don't do that. Just bring people you like.
No, bring people you don't like. Sometimes people you don't like at a bar, like if they play like "Come On Eileen" at the right.
What?
Wow.
If they play that song at the right time, like it'll bring everybody together.
Come on, Eileen. That's a song.
Yes, it is. Not the way you're thinking of it,
You're
Pete.
disgusting. You're just
not like coming on. It's like
Jesus
come
Christ,
on.
what is wrong?
Come on, man.
What is wrong with you, bro?
Dirty bastard.
You're gonna Me Too yourself. It's just you alone. That's what's gonna be.
All right. So with that,
Let's talk about it. Bum has mad ratings.
Madden ratings. The topic we got to talk about this week.
The
Kenny.
99s.
You want to start by talking about the 99s?
No, you start.
What am I starting with? The 99s?
The 99 Club, yes.
All right.
And I know there's a rating that's gonna make you snap, so I'm just planting seeds of dissension, waiting for it to happen.
I don't know. We talked about it before, but it's just like the whole Mandeville has just kind of gotten out of hand. Like
Giving people
we,
chains and like
we don't need.
I didn't get a Def Jam chain. Like, what is this?
We don't need a celebration on every 99, especially when you got
Aaron Donald,
some
5
blasphemous
years in a row.
numbers. Yeah, so Jalen Ramsey, 99 overall. Devontae Adams, Green Bay
98.
receiver.
Oh no, he got a 99.
No, he got a 99. Travis Kelce, the 99 club for the Kansas City Chiefs at tight end. And DeAndre Hopkins, Myles Garrett, Tyreek Hill, just missing it with the 98 overall.
I don't know why they give Tyreek Hill 99. That makes no sense.
Aaron Donald was also 99.
I mean, yeah.
Stephon Gilmore fell from a 99 to a 97.
Who else was in 97? Who's
Your
the top
boy,
rated running back?
Your boy, Christian McCaffrey,
Not my
97 overall.
And
Oh, he's
really-
not your boy anymore now because he's getting white privilege.
Nah, I just don't think he should have been like. How's Derrick Henry not a 99? What more does he have to do? And did you not see him play last year? And McCaffrey was hurt, so you got to put him like on the. You got to give him and Kamara the same rating.
Well, who is the best running back in the league right now?
Dalvin
Henry.
Cook,
Henry, then Dalvin Cook.
Nick Chubb.
No. Nick Chubb would be the best running back in the league if he didn't have to split carries. Because then he would hit like 2,000 yards, but he's splitting carries with Kareem Hunt. And
I just want to know in what fucking world is Zeke a 88, bro?
thank you. I was waiting.
How is Zeke a fucking 88? That shit just makes no sense to me.
So
Like,
when I told you the
if-
NFL was going to get him out the paint,
if
you
he's
didn't believe me?
bro, if he's a fucking 5-year, he's been in the league 5 years, rushed for over 1,000, 3 years.
Yeah, he's been in
Missed-
the league for like 7.
Nah, he's only been in the league like 5 years, bro.
Him and Bosa came out the same year.
Okay, 6 years.
It has to be 6 or 7. That's what I'm saying. Like 5. You keep saying 5
Nah,
years.
bro.
It's like
Fuck.
having a top 20. You have a top 5, but you keep mentioning like 20 people. Shout out to the one person.
He's been
who I
in the
think is
league
watching this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. 5 years since 2016, his rookie year.
How many carries does he have?
He has the highest yards per game basically in the league. He's rushed for 1,000 yards 3 out of the 5 years and missed the 1,000-yard mark by a combined 38 yards. Otherwise, he'd have 1,000 yards in each of those seasons.
Mhm.
He's had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. Like, he's had, like, as far as passing too, like, he's up there. He's had over 30 receptions basically every year. 50 the last 2. Like, in what world is Zeke not a 90, at least a 90 overall? And I think the worst part about it is even last year, as
They
someone
nerfed his
who
ratings.
played Madden, they nerfed his ratings. The highest card you can get of Zeke is a 92 overall. But there are 99 fucking Tyrone Calicos, bro. 99 Jared Goffs.
Tyrone
99
Calico was
Blake
never even that
Bortles.
good.
99 Blaine Gabberts. Like, bro, there's some fucking campy 99 cards, bro. But
Tyrone Calico was never even that good.
you can't give me a 99 Zeke card, bro.
What's up, ladies?
Zeke maxes out at 92. That's a lot, bro.
And McCaffrey got 97. I was like, that's white privilege. That's when I was like, that's racism. Normally, I wouldn't call
Off
it out.
an injury. But yeah, man.
Off an injury-prone year,
I
and
can-
you didn't like. But it's funny because Derrick Henry beat out Christian McCaffrey to win the Heisman, and now Christian McCaffrey is the highest-rated running back on Madden. So did the universe balance itself out? I still say he should have won the Heisman over Derrick Henry because, I mean, come on. That was like Alabama was the best team, but that don't mean you give it to the best player on the best team when like you could have put anybody in at running back and they still would have dropped like 40 points on you. It's disrespectful.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to have some conversations about College Awards pretty soon.
Yep. And I told you the cornerback ratings. Xavier Howard.
All I know is the Rams have 299s overall on defense, so they better do something with it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Did you see the speed ratings? The speed ratings are actually.
How
a
did you
little bit
feel
better
about
this year.
the Von 93 overall?
I'm okay with that. He's better than Bosa though. Bosa has the most finesse. He has the highest
I don't
finesse
know
rating.
about that, bro.
That's trash. There's no way Bosa has the highest finesse rating. He's quick for
Bosa's,
someone who isn't that
Bosa's
fast,
was healthier
but he's not
than
quicker.
Vaughn last year.
His finesse isn't better than Myles Garrett's. You can go back and look at their combine numbers. There's no way his like finesse.
I'm just
moves-
glad they knocked out Nick Bosa a little bit.
They should have, but Myles Garrett should have been. I mean,
Nah, I'm cool with him not being in 99 yet.
I think he should
He's
have.
almost there.
He should have had a.
He'll be there
higher-
next year.
He'll be there in like the first 3 weeks of the season
Yeah, something like that.
because he's a freak of nature. But
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
a freak.
you look at like the speed ratings. I think they were pretty accurate. Raheem Mostert, fastest running back, 97. Anthony Swartz, the rookie out of Auburn, who's been one of the fastest people in the world since he was in high school. He was probably going to go to Oregon, but he ended up going to Auburn, and they didn't really use him all that much properly like a receiver until like his last year. But he ran like a 4.23 or something like that at his pro day, 4.25. So it's interesting because I want to see what Eric Stokes is. I want to see all the rookie ratings because Eric Stokes ran pretty much around the same 40 time as Schwartz. So it's going to be an acceleration over speed thing. Who knows? But also, Jason Owe ran a 4.37, and I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like that video doesn't exist of him and Micah Parsons running fast as shit. So if they get any speed ratings in the 80s, somebody needs to get like punched in the face. Because again, like you just have to accept that there are more athletes in the league now who like they're finally catching up. Like before these guys years ago, 10 years ago, they'd be tweeners or they'd be out of the league. Now it's almost predicated that you prefer these guys to be this athletic and they just, okay, you're good at this. We'll eventually bring you along. But like you try out running a guy who's 6'5", 240, and he runs a 4.37. He's faster than Zeke ever was. He's faster than Christian McCaffrey ever was. Dalvin Cook ever was. Alvin Kamara ever was. Faster than Nick Chubb, even before his injuries. A defensive end / linebacker, whatever they're going to play him at, he's legitimately that fast on wax. So, like, how are you going to offset that? Are you going to do what they did with Justin Fields where they made him a 74 and Trey Lance is like a 76, which makes no sense to me. I don't see the hype about Trey Lance. I'm not just saying that because he's light-skinned and he has like Trey Young's hair. I'm not saying that because the middle of his head looks like a blown-out brush that you use to clean a grill. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying. And he went to North Dakota State. I don't know what his 40 is. He looks fast. He looks Deshaun Watson type fast, where he's not probably going to bust out a 4.5, but he's probably fast enough.
Hopefully he's not as fast in the massage parlor.
Wow, you are a monster. And I'm pretty sure if you're in a massage parlor, if you pay for the hour, you get the hour.
When Deshaun comes in, it's a misogyny parlor.
Could you stop? Could you stop? What is wrong with you? Why are you a chaotic evil?
Just show him the door.
You and I both know those. I'm just gonna take the
what's on me, son.
Could you, Eric? Could you hit him, please? Could you like hit him?
No, because there would be film of it now. There's evidence. It's not just the
Your girlfriend needs to beat you as soon as you get home, Pete. There, I said it.
We're not under never mind.
Wow.
It was gonna be worse. Whatever you said, I'm glad you stopped. But just
this man really just took the mouse from me.
He did because you were ignoring it.
And just
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
We'll just stick to that because whatever you were doing just now,
Well,
those
moving
are horrible puns.
from
But
Madden, I mean, quarterbacks are going to be.
are you mad at me? See?
Oh my god,
Okay,
that's
then.
bad. That was really bad.
It was so bad. I had to rinse out how bad his was.
That stopped.
So now we can. Now that I've reset the room, go ahead, Eric.
I was just going to say, I mean, quarterback's going to be released tomorrow, but what do you think about one of the arguably best quarterback saga going on right now, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay?
Aaron Rodgers has always been better than Tom Brady. He just never had the circumstances Tom Brady had. So we'll just start and end with that. One's a JUCO product. One came out of Michigan. It was a 6th round pick, but it's like, dude, you were a system QB for most of your career, and then people realized, oh, you can actually throw, and you're like this maniacal, I don't want to say grand wizard of quarterbacking because that would be suspect, but I mean, who he voted for. But yeah, you can call. I look at Tom Brady as like the Triple H of quarterbacks. Like he has all this
You have to
lifetime.
respect him.
He has all this lifetime success, but like he couldn't carry a team on his own if he had to. Like if he was the Raiders starting quarterback, you telling me he's willing the Raiders to a Super Bowl in his prime?
Not with John Gruden.
I say no, even with any of those litany with Lane Kiffin.
Bro, why is our
He was-
touchdowns and tangents email getting so much fucking spam?
That's what was like really annoying.
Like, dude.
I'm like, I already paid the bill.
Well, apparently we need to renew our fucking Norton subscription, which I didn't know we had.
I don't know. I don't know what that is either, and I feel like they're
Do
fishing.
you need to renew your car warranties?
Yeah,
Extended
basically.
warranty.
Somebody said our refrigerator
We
was
got a
running out.
free $100 Amazon gift card in here.
Dog, don't open any of that. We're gonna get our email stolen.
That probably
Someone's
already
watching
is.
me right now, bro.
Yeah,
Literally.
legitimately. But I mean, you look at the whole Aaron Rodgers saga, and it's like,
Now people are gonna know when I'm not paying attention.
and they're gonna know you didn't read the rundown either.
I'm still not looking at the rundown.
Like literally, you can say, "I will murder
Hey, at
your whole
least-
family."
At least I'm
if you don't
in
read-
our email. Like that's semi on topic. Jesus,
Well, you haven't looked at that email in like 3 months.
dog. I haven't been logged in on this phone for 2 months.
Okay,
New
I had a phone
who dis?
crisis this past week that lasted like 2 days. By the way, fuck that guy trying to charge me 140 to fix my screen, then replaces the wrong piece, and then I go to my.
I thought he fixed it.
No, I went to another guy. I went to my guy who I usually go to, who fixes shit, and he was like, "Yo, it's only." He charged me 60 to clean the whole phone, 30 something for the piece, which was dirt cheap.
Cleaning the iPhones.
No, like, he took the back out. No, like, he took the back out.
This sounds
Like,
wonderful.
happened to you, bro?
He's like, he fixed the whole phone. Like, it's worked better than it pretty much works like it's brand new. And I got the screen fixed, and he put a screen protector there. I was like, salute to that guy. Salute to the homie. Salute to Abraham. He did a great job. If you need your phone fixed, just stop by. It's a spot that's right on Hawthorne off Redondo Beach. It's right by the little car wash. It's across the street from the Boston. What is it? Fucking Boston Market. It's across the street from the Boston Market. It's like a phone place. I forget. I think it's
open?
West Coast. So I forget the name of it, but they're a really dope phone place. He does great business, and he fixed my phone. He was like, yeah, it doesn't cost that much to fix. He just said it was an iPhone. It doesn't cost 140 to fix the phone. He overcharged you, and then he did some shit that you didn't even ask him to do, and then charged you for it. And then it wasn't even the right piece. He said, I looked at it, and it took me 30 seconds to realize you only really needed like this. And because he did so much damage to it, I just fixed the whole thing for you. And added some upgrades, so salute to him. But yeah, speaking of upgrades, the Packers never really respected Aaron Rodgers' input on anything. The fact that how they did Clay Matthews, Charles Woodson,
Do you think it's worse that they?
Casey Hayward.
Do you think it's worse that Aaron Rodgers
Micah
says
Hyde?
he
I
sent
told you
them
about
shit?
Micah Hyde.
He talked to them about it. Do you think it's worse that he told them and they didn't do anything about it?
And then,
Or do you think it would have been worse if they just wouldn't have listened to him at all?
well, I mean, they did. They pretty much said "fuck you" on like every possible accord.
But they didn't. They listened to him.
And
They
didn't
just didn't
do it.
take his advice.
No, it's like, okay, we'll listen to you. We listened to you. We were never going to actually do what you said or suggested, even though it's.
So that's what I'm saying. So would
Because-
it have been better if they just never listened to him and he just
they were never
gave the
going
input?
to listen to him. Like they
But
would've-
I'm telling you, they did listen to him. They just didn't do what he wanted them to do.
No, they placated him. Like, okay, we'll hear you talk. We'll hear you talk. Okay, we're gonna do our own shit. We ain't listening.
Yeah, because they're the boss
They
in the
gaslit the
organization.
fuck out of him.
They can do that.
They
But that's what
gaslit
I'm
him
saying,
for
though.
about a good 10 years.
But that's what I'm saying. So do
But
you think it would have been?
Even
It
new
would have been.
management.
You think it would have been better if they just didn't even talk to him?
Nah, it would be worse. He'd been left.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Ted Thompson at least listened, and then eventually, like, he brought in Julius Peppers. Like, Ted Thompson eventually was like, all right, fine, I'll listen.
I don't know about that, but yeah,
And they were in contention for a little bit because they didn't usually sign free
they're
agents.
in contention right now.
No, but remember, they didn't sign free agents for like a good 7 years.
Yeah, and they did like 2 years ago.
No, it started with Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers was a minute ago, bro.
That was a while ago, and he's still a Hall of Fame defensive player. And he put up numbers. Like, bro, Julius Peppers played in a 3-4,
All right, bro.
in a 4. Sorry, I know Chicago was dark
You-
years, but he still put numbers up in Chicago.
He did.
He put up numbers wherever he went in both schemes. And then Clay Matthews, he made the Pro Bowl as a middle linebacker. They wasted him. He's an edge rusher. He's an all-time sack leader, and they wasted him. He made a Pro Bowl as a middle linebacker because they just wouldn't build around guys. And they traded with the Houston Texans to get Randall Cobb back, and the Texans going to pay like.
You think that makes him happy?
$3.5 million.
They said that's the move that he wanted.
They pretty much, he said.
They said if it wasn't for Aaron, they basically wouldn't have did the move.
Give me back Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson. Give me back my homies.
That's not
no.
That wouldn't be
not Jordy Nelson now, but
if I was
Randall
Aaron
Cobb
Rodgers, I wouldn't be that happy about that move. But okay.
I mean, you got Amari Rodgers, you got Randall Cobb. He's like, I just need a familiar face in the locker room. Like,
they said that he pretty much was like he just got out of jail. Like that's how happy he was.
Because the Texans are purgatory for receivers. Unless you're Brandon Cooks. He still keeps producing. Y'all got to put some respect on his name. And Michael Thomas definitely isn't better than Keenan Allen. That's what I was going to say. I saw those Madden ratings. I was like, Michael Thomas should be like an 87 at this point. He needs to be bumped down, his overall Madden rating. Dak Prescott had the same amount of touchdowns as you, and he broke his shit.
I don't know, man. Keenan
Allen's been consistently great
and
for
underrated.
a while, and he tore both his knees up. And he ran a 4.7 coming out of college. That's ridiculous. Like, he's literally proven every stereotype about like a number one receiver. He's literally proven like, yeah, I'm not this, I'm not that, but I'm an excellent route runner and I have excellent hands.
Yes.
Even though
and he blocks and he hits.
Yeah. And I played the slot, I played all the positions. And
Michael Thomas only plays.
He's like the Richard Sherman of receivers. He plays one side and he runs a slant.
He runs a slant.
And a post.
And you still think he's better than Keenan Allen after that whole rant?
I said he should.
After that whole rant, you're gonna still say he's better than Keenan Allen?
No, I said he should be below Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen should be higher than Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas should.
Both their trainers need a raise.
All I'm saying is that receiving list is kind of disrespectful. They could have put some guys higher up on that list.
It's always controversial. They want people to talk about it. And then it gets adjusted after week 2.
A 94, though. A 94 for a guy who had one touchdown.
I mean, if you're going to give DeAndre a 98, you might as well give him a 99.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't get worse.
Mm.
How do you not keep him? Like, what did he do wrong? Again, he's not fast either.
Yeah, I don't think he should be. I honestly don't even know if he should be a 98. But if you are going to give him a 98, you might as well just give him a 99, bro.
That's how I felt about everybody who got a 98. Tyreek Hill should have a 99. Because he's still an elite returner. And he takes handoffs.
All right, bro. We're not even talking about this anymore.
But bottom line is, when I look at the Packers situation, you got Devontae Adams. Who else? Tanyan was a product of Aaron Rodgers saying, I need somebody to be open.
Yeah, but do you think he's going to have nearly as good a year?
He's not catching 10 touchdowns again this year. I'll put money on that.
I don't think so either. I don't think he's going to have nearly as great a career, great year as he did last year.
And then the
Packers might not even be that great this next year. They had a great year last year. They didn't get anywhere. And then
I think they'll be better this year based off the drafting.
Possibly.
I mean, if you look at it, they're gonna run the ball more. They're just gonna slowly take the offense away from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like, even though Monty Ball on Twitter was like,
unless you need a Hail Mary at the end of the game.
Yeah. Monty Ball was like, man, y'all talk about Aaron Rodgers. Peyton Manning used to bring in his own subs, used to change the play and totally ignore Adam Gase on the sideline, and then threw 50 touchdowns doing it. Like, what are we saying here? That's why Adam Gase probably is such a shitty coach. He has PTSD from just Peyton Manning not respecting him.
It's awful. Well, also,
I want to listen to. If I'm Peyton Manning, why would I listen to Adam Gase? But when you look at, QBs who have gotten the respect of the front office, Aaron Rodgers has gotten probably the most disrespect. If we're being real.
For real.
Who's been disrespected more? Maybe Joe Montana?
As far as a franchise QB,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Who's been just blatantly slapped in the face like a bitch more than Aaron Rodgers?
Colin Kaepernick.
Come on. Now you're just being mean. Now you're just being petty.
But it's true.
Sir. You're being petty, sir. It has nothing to do with anything.
Anyway, moving on.
Thank God.
Xavier Howard, if I pronounced that right, breaks his silence.
How's this man hijack a segment, talk about shit for 15 minutes, and then doesn't even have the courtesy to segue out?
That's
Right.
your job.
What kind of fucking showrunner are you, bro?
The kind that makes you do the work.
Jesus Christ.
You gotta show up and do some work.
Jesus Christ.
But I'm just saying, did I not connect all my points back? I mean, Madden, all that shit, like it all goes hand in hand.
Kind
It all
of,
goes
not
back.
really.
If Aaron Rodgers isn't the 99
The
overall,
Space
is it not
Jam, the
disrespectful?
new Space Jam has less plot holes than you.
Bullshit. I won't watch that shit. But if Aaron Rodgers gets like a 97, is that not disrespectful? In Madden,
I guess, man. I don't know.
you win MVP.
I really don't
He threw
feel that
48
bad for
touchdowns to
Rodgers,
3
bro.
picks at 37.
He also doesn't talk to his family and is a dick.
Fuck. Hi, Pete.
I talk to my family, all right?
What's the ratio?
I talk to my family, asshole.
What's the ratio?
All right, next topic. Xavier Howard.
See?
He breaks his silence as he officially announces trade request. Where does he want to go?
I'm telling you, like I said, the Raiders are fit. They'll get young corners in return. And
Oh,
Clelin Ferrell's weak ass. And a second round pick that they were going to not use smartly anyway.
Yeah.
Dolphins got enough draft capital. It's like, we don't even need your picks.
Well, the Dolphins are already reporting that at least 2 playoff teams have reached out about Howard.
The Saints, at least.
As far as the Raiders, I mean, why not? If you can make the move, do it. But I'm not leveraging like 3 first-round picks.
No.
A second, a third, Clelin Ferrell.
Corners just don't last that long anymore. Like,
So our corners like the juicy fruit gum, the NFL. You know, like the zebra gum, where it's good for like 30 seconds and it's trash.
nah,
So it's like
I wouldn't
you're
say it
showing
like
mad
that.
man.
It's not like running backs, but I would say like it's not the same. Whereas like you had the same corner starting for 10 years, like in the early 2000s. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like you have a few elite guys, and then you have a bunch of guys. Like pretty much, like
Yeah, you don't have like a Drell Revis back there. You don't have
but
you
even like the great ones now, like Stephon Gilmore. Like
don't- Jalen.
we've been talking about how he's overrated. Now he's like
But corners kind of get screwed. Like once
underrated.
they do their job and they're great at it, and then you don't want to pay them afterwards. Like, okay, so
Tre'Davious Wright is underrated. It's like you go
But he
from
got
underrated to overrated, and then you're just overrated until you're washed.
You go from underrated to elite, and then like, yeah, but he's making a lot of money. They can afford to bring in another DB. No, that DB can't do what he can do. He can't. He could take this dude out of the game. He could make sure Stephon Diggs gets 4 catches for 30 yards. What if J.C. Jackson got eaten alive? And everybody was like, oh, J.C. Jackson's a Pro Bowler. He's playing like an all-pro. Look what he did. And then he got eaten alive by Stephon Diggs. I think Stephon Diggs had like 3 touchdown catches that game. I know because it was a fantasy update I was getting every time he fucking scored a touchdown. He dropped like 52 points that week. I'm saying, like, you're an elite corner. Like, Jalen Ramsey is like, he's such a great corner, and his personality and his skill set, he can get away with never having more than 6 picks in the season or 5 picks in the season. That's crazy to me. Think about like we're in an era like Darrelle Revis never led the league in interceptions,
Because nobody ever threw it to him.
and when they did throw it to him, he had maybe 4 picks.
Yeah.
He wasn't catching everything that was thrown. Nnamdi had 8 picks in 1 year, and then they stopped throwing to him. And then the defense was so bad, but it's like, well, Nnamdi only gave up 1 catch for 17 yards. But the defense gave up 560 total yards. So it's Nnamdi's fault. Nnamdi got to take a pay cut. And then when he breaks the bank with Philly, so you know the thing you're great at? We're not going to use you for that at all. We're going to make you like something else. And a lot of these corners, and this goes back to Madden that I see had higher ratings, a lot of them are just great zone corners and kind of good in press, but they're not like elite ball hawks, like a Jadavius White is, like a Gilmore is, like a Ramsey. Xavier Howard, 18 picks in the last couple of years. I think it's weird, like we won't judge a corner based on how many interceptions he gets. We won't say that dude's the best because he has the most. Because if you go back when like Tampa with Champ Bailey was playing, go look at Deltha O'Neal for the Bengals. He had like 10 picks twice.
I know, it's crazy.
He was actually like a dope ass corner for the Bengals for years.
Was he ever above a 90 though?
I don't think so. It was the Bengals curse. But he was like fire. So it's like, well, how do you explain if you can get 10 picks in a year and then you get 6 picks the next year and you keep getting picks? Well, how are you not the best? So it's kind of like, is it hype? Is like, you can't say Jalen Ramsey's overrated because his skill set's undeniable. But at a certain point, like, teams are throwing to you. Devontae Adams did eat you up.
Bad.
So what are we saying? Like, oh, it's a fluke. He's allowed that. But if every time you throw to Xavier Howard, it's a pick or an incompletion, but you don't see him as the type of corner that, this guy is, because it all goes back to where you were drafted, and they judge you off that. So, I mean, I think if the Saints manage to see, the Saints are interesting. Because on one hand, you think, well, maybe in a year they could get Aaron Rodgers. Or maybe they find a way to trade for Howard. But does that guarantee them a Super Bowl? Nope.
You think the Saints really want to go for Aaron Rodgers this late in the career?
I would rather take Aaron Rodgers right now than Jameis Winston, period.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. You really would like? Why do you act like Aaron Rodgers is a bum? You have to subtract like 6 years off his career because he didn't really play the first 6 years. Damn near. Like, and the injury too when he broke his foot, and when he played with a torn ACL, damn near. So if you factor in all the time he didn't play, he's 37 and he's really only played like 11 years. And he's literally the best at his position, arguably. Mahomes is like the best right now. But like the standard, you would say Aaron Rodgers. Because he's seen everything, he can do everything, and literally you think he can't throw a 70-yard Hail Mary with precision, and he does it. And he's like, yeah, I know I can do it. And you don't even know the dude's name he's throwing it to.
No. Some guy in a green shirt down there.
That's the crazy part.
Speaking of crazy, Lamar Jackson gets the Rona a second time.
2 times.
2 times. Is the Delta variant coming up?
I don't know. I mean, it might have been when he was in Florida with all them kids.
It was definitely when he was in Florida with all them kids.
Yo,
it's like a cesspool down there.
It's weird because like they were mugging him at the car, and I'm just like, Trae Young was at a basketball event. He hit a game winner, and the whole gym mugged him too. We're gonna find out he got the Rona. Like, it's like weird in a sense that I don't know if Lamar got vaccinated or not, but I do know like the Ravens just have a propensity to where somebody gets some weird ass injury or illness like every couple of years.
Well, it's being in Baltimore.
It's like when the Browns had the MRSA outbreaks. Like 3 guys, like Charles Bentley's knee still gives me
You have a
nightmares.
team full of ringworm.
Joe Jarvis said he almost died damn near because of the MRSA outbreak. Charles Bentley's leg still gives me nightmares. His knee is nightmare fuel. I'm just like, oh, is it worth it at that point? Like, if you could play that long, would it really be worth it to go through that? I'm just like, ouch. Like, so it's like there's always that one team or that one guy who just randomly some shit happens to him. Like some guy gets the flu. Like I remember when QBs used to get the flu and then they would play through it.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't question it.
Not in these days and times.
These days, you have a cough. People are like, the fuck?
Go home, bro. Why are you here?
You
What's
have,
that
you have a
rash
runny
on your
nose?
arm?
You have a runny nose? The fuck out of here.
Monkeypox. I saw the pictures. It really made me want to be sick. Like,
Monkeypox.
like humans, we're gonna destroy ourselves.
We are destroying.
I just
ourselves.
don't want to be
Yeah,
around.
because some people don't want to get vaccinated.
Oh no,
You know?
it's way past vaccinations. Like,
No, it's-
people haven't been watching.
No, that's where it starts, bro.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
That's
where it
that's-
is.
where it
That's where it
starts.
exists. That's
That's
where
page
it's
17.
no conspiracy
No,
theory
it's not.
here. No
No, it's
conspiracies
not.
here.
No,
it's
Facts are
not.
facts.
I
it's
agree.
not, bro.
Vaccination.
Okay, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying humans have
You
been
don't
doing-
wear a seatbelt when you drive.
what the fuck?
When you get in the car.
That's dangerous.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what I'm saying is, people have been doing dumb shit to themselves or doing careless things that affect other people,
Which is fine.
for hundreds of years.
Listen to me. It's fine. But
And-
it's worse when you do that and there's a ready-made solution for
Rolling
you
loud.
that you're
I
ignoring.
mean, people are still getting sick taking it, so it's like
Yeah, but they don't.
They're not
die.
dying.
I get that, but
I don't think you get that.
No, I don't think you get that.
that.
I do
I
get
don't
that.
think you get that.
I get that. I'm
I don't
saying
think you get
the
that.
people who get that don't give a fuck, and that's what you don't get, and that's the scary part. They don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. So we're just agreeing on mutually.
No, we're not agreeing
Destroy
on anything.
annihilation.
We're not agreeing on anything. You're the outlier here.
I'm not the outlier.
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna get vaccinated, but
You've been saying that already for weeks.
because I have had shit to do and I'm tired.
And I missed last week because I thought of you. I'm telling you that right now. We're on the air right now. I didn't come last week because I thought of you.
Damn.
I appreciate that.
All right? Get your ass
Yeah.
fucking vaccinated.
I have like
Get your ass fucking
Out the next 2
vaccinated.
days.
All right? I love you.
Everybody
And that's why
relax.
I'm cursing at you.
Everybody relax,
Bro, you can literally walk into Walgreens at any time and get a fucking vaccination.
I know. Everybody relax. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the bigger picture.
But we are talking about you because you can't talk
but
about
I'm
the
not
bigger
the reason
picture.
the fucking COVID-19 is
But
here.
you're not the reason that it's not here either.
No, that's literally a false equivalency.
No, it's
that's
the
like
same
blaming me for
equivalency.
cancer in fucking Africa. Like, you can't blame me for a whole pandemic. You're literally doing it.
I'm saying you're not playing your part in providing the solution.
The fuck, you don't play your part when you sometimes speed, but calm down.
I don't speed.
You speed.
I'm not a speeding. I don't speed, bro.
You
That was a bad
speed
example.
little
It's
bit.
a bad example.
I don't speed.
Okay, fine. Bottom line is, you guys know what I'm getting at, and you're choosing to ignore it. What I'm saying is,
No,
we're
we
not.
don't.
did you see
We don't
fucking
know
Rolling
you for
Loud?
weeks.
No,
We don't know.
Okay, let's just talk about Florida. Did you see Rolling
Bro,
Loud?
nobody cares about that. We're talking about you. You're
Okay,
deflecting.
I'm
You're
not deflecting.
deflecting. You're
We've
like,
already
oh,
established.
You're like, look, what about these 50,000 other people? But
I'm
we're not
not-
talking about them. We don't
but
care
I-
about them. They can
Okay.
die off. We're
Okay.
talking about you,
That's
bro.
fucked up.
We're talking about this podcast.
That's fucking dumb.
I mean,
We're
that's
talking
how I
about
feel
us.
too.
That's kinda more.
Our
That's really
family.
how I feel too, though.
Yeah,
It's like,
like-
fuck all them. I love you.
Yeah, bro. Like,
But
fuck.
I get that, but I think about that. Okay, I get vaccinated, and I'm like, hold on.
It's worth it, dude.
No, I agree. I've been really fucking busy. Like, but I'm going to do it.
You got it.
So I'm saying, just take me out of it. Just let's say I'm already vaccinated. Take me out of it. Let's look at the other side of the world, where, by the way, all the airports are open now. So like, people are traveling and shit. Florida should be fucking quarantined from everybody. Texas too, probably, but definitely Florida. Florida has given zero fucks through hurricanes, through presidential elections, through fucking pandemics. We need to talk about Florida, and it's a growing problem. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Well,
and when you think of how humans are going to destroy each other, don't you think it's going to start in Florida?
No. Well, here's the thing: people in Florida, and I guess ones that want to make this political, think is that it's taking away their freedom. But within this is what's going on is
you're
that
coughing and sweating on people, and you're fucking
you're
unhygienic. That's why.
With this not taking your self responsibility, which you have the freedom to do or not to do, but you not doing for it. Not only are you paying the consequences, but you're paying the consequences for not only your community, your neighbors, your countrymen, your people that you share the globe with. People are just not taking it because they choose not to.
And it's starting to permeate in the NFL, as we can tell. Like,
yeah, and it's a real problem.
Even though like 90% of the league has actually been vaccinated.
And I think, I mean, to be honest, with NFL taking their stance on how they're saying you got to do this, they're not the only company out there doing it either.
Yeah,
you have a lot of these major companies. They're like, and I understand too. You're like, you're fucking costing me money at this point. You are this whole choice of not doing what it's supposed to be doing is beyond a business choice now. It's a life choice, and it's life choices for other people and other people. I mean,
the food industry.
Let's put it this way, man. I and you guys know my story. Like, my wife got sick, and we've been hardcore about masks everywhere. And we finally go out somewhere to watch a game, and we were literally joking around because this fucking bar was crowded. We're like Super Spreader Sunday, and she contracts it. Luckily, she was vaccinated, so when she got mild symptoms, we had to quarantine ourselves for a while, which was awful at this point. But we did our own. We did what we were supposed to do, and I lost some money because couldn't work, and it's inconvenient. But what's worse is that if she didn't get vaccinated,
it could have been worse.
It could have been worse, because what's probably getting her sick right now is that crazy ass shit that's going around. And nevertheless, here you're fucked with a nice medical bill.
Yeah, like I saw a video of some dude getting put into an ambulance, and then
he ran off.
You're like $900. Fuck that. He was like concussed or whatever. He fucking stumbles out of the ambulance, hits the ground, and then Deion Sanders like, yo, whoever knows this guy, tell him I need a safety, because his ability to track and cover all that ground that fast and realize how much it was going to cost for an ambulance ride and how it wasn't going to work with his budget. Give me that guy. So, yeah, that was a random aside, but yeah, the whole COVID thing, Lamar Jackson. All right, next topic, please.
Or going to college football, I guess, right?
Segway's on point today.
I know, right? It's like when you walk in a class late. It's like when you walk in a class late, but the teacher hasn't even taken roll yet.
It's like when you are the teacher, you made the lesson plan, and the kids are like, "Well, what's next?" And you're like, "I don't know what's next."
They're like, "Fuck it, just talk amongst yourselves."
Pretty much, yeah.
And then like you just have like a real honest conversation amongst you, the teacher, and the rest of the students, and everybody like is better off for it. But I was waiting on said person to call in, but might catch him next week. Whatever, who knows? Whoever knows.
Well, big shit's going on in college anyway.
Only like the end of the fucking world as we know it, as far as college football landscapes go. Like I kept telling y'all, I'm ahead of my time with a lot of my ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. The PC3, I'm telling you, it's like it may not happen exactly the way I said it, but a super conference on the West Coast is going to have to happen. Or else you're going to be losing recruits and money. The best player in California, Malachi Wilson or whatever his name was, the best player in California, a QB, just committed to Oklahoma.
We thought we were going to get
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Michael. I thought, like, damn, this is it. You sent somebody in there to smoke us? That's crazy. The studio got swatted. But nah, you look at, like, the best quarterbacks in California, because let's be honest, that's where the best quarterbacks are, than Texas.
Sunshine.
Exactly. They're all going to other states with better teams like Alabama, which, by the way, Bryce Young has like almost $1 million. Salute to him, for all those NIL deals. But the Big 12 pretty much sending ESPN a fucking cease and desist letter is hilarious. And
What they send them?
they sent them a
for?
cease and desist letter
For
because they're saying that they reached out and they're like colluding, and it's a conflict of interest, colluding like with all the other Big 12 schools and talking to them, and then they're colluding with the SEC because they have SEC rights, exclusive SEC rights, and they're saying you are like working with the SEC to broker this TV deal to get Texas and Oklahoma to transition out of their deal faster. Because
that is colluding.
Yeah.
Because you do have they gave Texas a bunch of money years ago. ESPN gave Texas a bunch of money years ago because they have the Longhorn Network. They gave them a bunch of money years ago when Texas was going to leave and become independent, and they almost struck a deal with the Pac-12 because Texas was actually going to be in the Pac-12, formerly the Pac-12 years ago. But you know how I felt about that USC Texas shit. So fuck Texas.
That would have been great for TV, actually, though.
We had shitty Whataburger commercials on TV. You think that's great?
I mean,
Pac-12 after dark, and you see a Whataburger commercial. Now I'm disgusted, and I don't want to watch the rest of the game. I'm offended.
You're offended by what fast food comes to the demographic.
I'm more offended than the first lady who complained about prayer in school.
Wow.
I'm that offended.
So it's
Whataburger.
it's 4 years away, basically.
2020. No, they're
And
getting
the
out the
two teams
deal
will-
like the next 2 years.
No, it says till 2025.
Yeah, that's when the deal says it. But we know anything about contracts, and in Texas, especially in the South, they can get out of that contract in the next 2 years.
They pay
Texas
enough
has
money.
Texas has more money than the devil. So we've already established like the worst schools, most evil schools. Texas is up there, Pete. Oklahoma too, not just because of racism, definitely because of oil money and how the Alamo, how that went down.
USC. Oh, did I say that?
No, did you say Notre Dame? Did you say Notre Dame? I forgot. I didn't hear like the Catholic Church and Notre Dame.
Trojans. I'm sorry. What?
Definitely they're in the running. They're definitely top 10.
Pete Carroll.
Are we gonna throw in Duke too? Even though they're not really that great in football, but Duke. But anyway, so they threw him a cease and desist, and ESPN pretty much fired back like, "This is ridiculous." This man just yawned into the mic.
Well, I'm sorry. We're 1 point through the second segment, almost 50 minutes in.
Fam, you literally just yawned into the mic. What's wrong with you? You're on drugs.
Well, pace better. Shit.
You're part of the conversation. But nah, seriously though, the Big 12, the all the presidents already voted unanimously, like 14-0, to let Texas and SEC into the SEC. So
Almost did it again.
I know you did. So the fact that the Big 12 could lose essentially their meal tickets, and the SEC would essentially become an unbeatable super conference, because you get Texas and Oklahoma, basketball, football, softball, all those sports, like, and ESPN has SEC rights. That's billions of dollars in TV money.
Yeah.
Who needs to watch? Like, there's never going to be a national championship coming out of the Pac-12.
Who has live sports?
Exactly. So you would essentially have to have the Pac-12. We got to steal
Sponsored.
the rest of the schools on the West Coast.
Well, I
Can't
feel
take
like
some-
West Virginia would go to the ACC.
They were in the ACC at one point.
Kansas probably go to the ACC. I feel
Kansas
like.
should just Kansas and Rutgers should just be in a conference.
Missouri
and
probably go
UConn.
back to
Missouri,
the SEC.
all the SEC schools that jumped out of the Big 12 would just go back to the Big 12. Baylor's going to be like a superpower in the Big 12 now. That's disgusting.
Where would TCU and OSU go?
They were saying rumors of a Pac-12 Big 10 super conference combination. And then they're also
Yawn.
saying Big Ten was like, nah, we're cool. And then they're also saying that like OSU might go to the Big Ten, which
I feel
It
like
makes
they
no
should.
sense.
I feel like they should just keep it as like a smaller conference.
but they would have to add like Houston, Cincinnati, which makes no sense because Cincinnati's in Ohio. If the Big Ten just added Ohio and didn't add Maryland or Rutgers, that would make more sense. But again, Ohio State, they don't want to compete for recruits, I guess. So if Cincinnati should be in the Big Ten. It makes no sense why they're not. They're in Ohio.
They can compete too.
I'm
And
fighting.
they gave
all my
Ohio-
yawns.
They've actually given Ohio State a run.
It's
for
a
the
no
money.
yawn podcast now.
I mean, turn the fucking cold air off. But nah, it's kind of dangerous though. So we'll see what happens with that situation. The Big 12 and Reggie Bush versus the NCAA. So
He lost again.
they're not giving him his Heisman back, and he just said, "Okay, bet, just wait." Now I can't wait for this.
He
This
didn't
documentary.
really have to give it back.
He didn't have to, but he was pressured to give it back,
Yeah.
and like they won't honor his records, and he's like,
I would have been fuck you. I'm keeping this thing.
"Yeah, that's what Snoop Dogg even said back then."
Yeah.
But Snoop Dogg be flip flopping sometimes. But even then, still, he should have never gave the Heisman back. That was like his one leverage. I would have never gave it back. You stole my records. I'm keeping the Heisman I won. Since this is an illegitimate, these records are illegitimate, and this award is illegitimate, then you don't need the Heisman because you can't retroactively give it to Vince Young.
Yeah.
You can't give it to Matt Leinart because we know damn well Matt Leinart wasn't the reason that team made it to the national title game. It was because of Reggie and Lindell White.
I remember when Matt Leinart was in Arizona. They loved him for
Noodle
Nothing.
arm.
noodle, just nothing.
Chad Pennington probably had a stronger arm and was more accurate.
Well, I got Kurt Warner to come
I
back.
think Chad Pennington actually made a Pro Bowl.
If it weren't
I
for
believe
Matt
it.
Leinart, maybe Kurt Warner wouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
That's if Kurt Warner's a Hall of Famer. If Fitzpatrick wins a Super Bowl, because I think to be in the Hall of Fame, you actually have to have at least one Pro Bowl. I think it's like an underlying thing, and he's never made the Pro Bowl.
Wow, he's never played the Pro Bowl?
It's Frank Fitzpatrick.
I know, but
He's a career journeyman. He's like the Ricky
gotta
Prohl
love
of QBs.
You gotta love. I do love it. Fitz magic, man.
Yeah, he's a feel-good story, and he has a beard that all men should be proud of and
He's
aspire
gonna be a
to.
good Santa Claus one day, throwing bombs.
And he's Mormon, and he went to Harvard.
Oh, he's
Like,
Mormon. Fuck that.
That's a deal breaker.
Mormons creep me out, dude.
And they do have a race.
Same.
They do have a racist religion.
Oh,
Like,
God,
a very
yeah.
racist religion. It's pretty fucked up. They think black people literally like come from shit. They're like almost on the level of racism that Indians are when it comes to black people and the undesirables. Yeah.
That was kind of a really broad and general statement. I'm kind
You
of
realize
offended.
India has a caste
I'm not-
system?
I'm offended. Everything
I'm not
that's
part
been
of-
said in the last hour that has been offending.
I'm not part of either of those subgroups.
You
but
do
I'm
realize that
offended.
India has a caste system, and America got their caste system about race and racism from India. But of course, you didn't study that, and you don't know. So,
Okay, I'm
Like,
also
literally,
gonna
they-
make. I'm
they
also
literally
not
have
gonna
people-
make
like-
broad statements.
that's not a broad statement. That's a fact. They have people called the Dravidians, the Untouchables. They literally
This
like
is what this guy always
Brahmin
does.
class,
Right?
like,
He'll
is
say
literally-
something, right, and
That's-
I'll go home tonight after the podcast, and I'll research everything that he's saying,
he's
and he
lying.
totally takes it out of context. I'll be
Definitely
like,
out
"You
of
said this
context.
and this," and he'd be like, "Well, yeah, but like, yeah." And I'll just
Not
be
in this
like,
regard.
Context
No, like,
matters, bro.
like the Brahmin class in
Stay
India.
tuned,
Like, there's
stay tuned,
literally,
stay
there's
tuned.
literally a
Stay
caste
tuned.
system in India. I
Stay
didn't make
tuned.
that up.
Stay
Like,
tuned.
it's a whole thing.
Stay
And it's
tuned.
based on darker skinned people.
Stay tuned.
They treat it's pretty fucked up. But yeah, Mormons being shitty, and
I know you never even been to India before, bro. How about you go there first before
I
you make
literally worked with
before you
mad
make broad,
Indian
broader
cats.
statements?
No, like I could just study history. You literally just
It's
study
not the
history.
same as being there, bro.
Like I don't have to go to India to know that racism exists in India.
You do
I
to
can
comment
talk-
on it
I
in
can
a
talk to
broad,
people
sweeping way.
Who are from there? Like, yeah, there's a caste system in India.
Oh yeah,
Like that's a fact. I didn't make that up. That's not my opinion.
What I'm saying though is,
But there you
you're
go.
speaking
You
on
think
it.
because
You're speaking
it's
on
the
it.
first time you're hearing it.
No,
That somehow you're
it's
going
not
to tell
the
me
first
more
time
about
I'm
it.
hearing it. I'm telling you though,
But you
you're
can't tell me
speaking
shit
on
about
it.
their cast system.
You're speaking
but you're
on
telling
it
me I'm
and
wrong,
using
and I've
it
actually
as
studied it.
you're speaking on it like you're an expert on it.
I'm not
You're
an expert
not.
on it. I just gave you the baseline information. You can go back.
You
and look.
didn't though. You
I
just
did.
mentioned it.
I just told you,
on
like,
reference.
There's a
You used it
caste
as a
system
metaphor.
there. The Brahmin class literally treats the Dravidians like shit. They literally like think that like they came out of God's asshole. Like you can go look up the whole
All right, I
racist
will.
history
I
behind
will.
that. It's pretty dark and fucked
Okay.
up. Gandhi actually has that's a whole nother situation. He kind of has a checkered past too. But whatever. Bottom line is a lot of religions kind of have fucked up dark past that just make people uncomfortable. And yeah, the Mormons are one of them.
This religion is not supposed to make you comfortable. It's make you scared and obey.
Yeah, pretty much. But we still like Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Obey. Yeah, I do like Ryan Fitzpatrick.
even though he's like he's Mormon. But
I like him a little less, but
yeah, Utah, weird state, but whatever.
weird state. You're not allowed to spit there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was.
Is it a fine?
We're driving through.
I've heard of that before.
We're driving through Utah, and then we pulled over just randomly, like see all the salt flats and everything, and then there's a sign. It's like Mormon country, do not spit. So therefore, I spit. You can't tell me what to do. God damn it!
This man's a free radical over here.
I wonder if I can get arrested for that, saying that on. I mean, it was years ago. I was a
Statute of
teenager.
limitations?
Statute of limitations. I was 13. It was over 20 years ago. So
And you're not even in the state. What are you gonna do? Extradite me
right, I'm in California.
to Utah?
We have to pay our gas prices first.
Exactly. But anyway, lastly, speaking of gas and Texas, so Quinn Ewers, he's number one. He might be like the highest rated, depending on what recruiting system you look at. Statistically, like the highest rated recruit of all time. I mean, Arch Manning is coming right behind him. So, but he's the number one overall player in the class, number one overall QB, committed to Ohio State. He's technically a junior. He is considering skipping his entire senior year
Just to train.
to enroll early at Ohio State, like what JT Daniels did when he was at Mater Dei and threw like 87,000 touchdowns and set the California State record. And then took and went to USC a year early with Amon-Ra St. Brown. But yeah, so Quinn Ewers, he was once committed to Texas and then he decommitted, and now he's committed to Ohio State, and they already have a ton of QBs. In the state of Texas, the whole NIL thing is illegal. He can't profit off his name. So he's considering using the loophole to just be done with high school a year early, and people were saying it's setting a bad precedent. And I'm like, well, when you're kind of like the Michael Jordan of high school athlete, you don't really need your senior year as much anymore. Like, let's be honest. If you're not playing for the team and you're focusing on your future, then why do you care about your senior year? Why risk getting hurt? If you're looking at it as a business move already, you had your junior year, you've been starting since whenever. Teams already know what you can do. If he already has like allegedly deals on the table. All he has to do is just re-enlist like a year early, reclassify a year early, and go into Ohio State as pretty much a junior in high school. Forego his whole senior year, but then cash out a bunch of bread in NIL money. And it's kind of like a huge middle finger to Texas because they're actually going through litigation to try to like fight that law and prevent it. Stanford head coach David Shaw went off about cats getting the money before they even play it down to college football. And I'm just like, nobody said that when you got that fat ass contract and underwhelmed and totally shit the bed after Christian McCaffrey left. You still get paid, right? Okay, just checking. But yeah. So Texas, yet again, standing in the way of progress and contracts and money. And he's literally the number one player in Texas and in his class. And there's nothing anybody can do about it if he decides to actually go to Ohio State. So that's interesting. And that's it for college football news.
All right. And next we have.
Take your tangent.
Usually it's whatever soundbite I find first. That's why I leave it open ended.
You could just definitely go the other way. I thought you were gonna play Gap Band for sure. I figured that would just be today.
There we go.
I like how even though we know that's the one we want to hit, it's always like the hardest one to find. And we'll be looking right at the screen.
It's because everything didn't used to be at the top, and now it is. Before there was a bunch of random shit on the top.
Well, Cole Beasley prepared a statement. Ron Rivera uneasy about low Washington football team vaccination numbers.
Yeah. So,
What did Mr. Beasley say?
You want to handle this, Pete?
Nah, you can.
Okay, so he pretty much had a prepared statement. This has been a long-going thing with him in particular. He's like, people should. I understand if people want to or don't want to get vaccinated. I also know that
If you're on YouTube, you can see my eye roll. Go ahead.
he's rolling his eyes very hard. Unless you want to move that, Skype thing. So pretty much Cole Beasley's like, look, and they're reading off a prepared statement is always funny as hell. Because it's like, bro, you could have just had somebody come out and read that.
Right.
Why'd you even come out here
From all the cameras.
to just read off? He literally read off a paper like this. I was like, what the fuck? Bro, that's just corny. But, he's like, people have the right to not have things forced on them, especially when it comes to things put in their body. And they have to live with that, and you shouldn't take that choice away from them. And then he just kept talking, and I eventually just tuned it out because it's just circular. Like, that's the one thing I don't get. Like, bro, if you don't want to do it, just say you don't want to do it and why you don't want to do it. But then don't filibuster on why you don't want to do it when that's not actually your reason. You just don't want to do it.
I thought the F in Kenneth F. James Berry stands for filibuster.
Filibuster starts with a P, you fucking idiot.
That was the joke.
And my middle name's Frank James. Dumbass. This guy's dumb. But no, like Cole Beasley, and of course he's from Texas too, by the way. And he went to SMU. So, Southern Methodist University. Do I need to?
I know what SMU stands for.
You don't be knowing shit sometimes. You don't be knowing words. So I just have to make sure, like, the full enunciation, like, the acronym. You didn't know what ASMR was, so I had to. But anyway, yeah. So he said that. Then Ron Rivera, in a non-related story but related story, he's uncomfortable about the low numbers of people on the team who haven't gotten vaccinated. Because he has no immunities.
I saw something
from the cancer treatment
from the NFL lead comms manager, and it basically said like 89% of players have at least the first dose. There's
87.
7 teams that are like over 95% vaccinated, and then there's like another 17 teams that are like over 89 or something. So
yeah, and then some teams are just like it's either 60-40 or I don't know, whatever. I don't know if it's certain guys who haven't been vaccinated.
The crazy thing is the NFL is kind of just doing what the federal government did, in that it's like,
here's the line.
We don't really know what to do, so hey, states figure it out. And that's kind of what the NFL is doing to the teams now, where they're like,
they're kind of putting a line in the sand.
If some COVID shit happens, you're at fault for it. So you're going to be at fault to prevent it and do whatever you want. Here are our recommendations.
Give me my damn headphone
but you ain't
case.
got to do it.
I was like, why are you? I was like, where's my headphone?
I mean,
case?
I understand it. It's not like last year where the economy is still going, where you can keep going too, because they argued this as well. Is that like you miss the game and it's because your fault and because you chose not to get vaccinated and there's an outbreak. Well, not only did you cost yourself money, you cost your team money, and you cost the opposite team, the other playing teams. I mean, how do you plan seeing that out too, that if you're a player on the team that's supposed to be playing against and you lose your money, I would put into some lawsuits for that game check. 'Cause that's a lot of money for a lot of people.
I mean, to your point though, like I think the rub is like, well, what if you are vaccinated and doing everything and you just get a new variant? Then that's where it's like,
And
now
you're
we're in that
traveling to
area.
different cities. And what if you're in a state like Florida?
But they said they know you haven't been vaccinated. If you still get sick and you get and you're vaccinated, then that's
But you
that's
can still
not
pass-
your
but-
fault.
But it's not your fault. But you can still pass the sweeping illness, and then your best player's out for that week, or has to be out because of contact tracing.
I think contact tracing is down to only like 2 days now for vaccinated people.
But yeah, anyways, the point that I was just trying to make was like the NFL, like from team to team, is handling it different. Like they recommended wristbands for vaccinated and unvaccinated players, or color coordinating credentials, or stickers on the helmets and stuff like that. It seems like the Browns,
J.C. Treader,
who is the Players Association president, was like,
starting center.
yeah, you guys are pretty much targeting unvaccinated players. You're basically shaming us. And teams like the Browns have been like, nah, we're not doing that. On the other hand, the same division, teams like the Steelers are doing it. So it just really depends. It's kind of a mess. I mean, there was a player for the Vikings, a defensive tackle or offensive lineman, who like basically got in a fight with his coach about getting vaccinated.
Oh, Rick Dennison, the offensive line coach, pretty much got fired because he didn't want to get vaccinated.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
And the Patriots, a Patriots assistant coach.
Didn't we talk about that last week?
I feel like we didn't. I feel like it
think we
happened
did.
and we didn't. I don't know.
I knew we talked about it.
We touched on it
Because that's when I said,
Those are the
if
ones-
anyone needs an offensive coach, I'm available.
I probably didn't catch that joke.
But yeah, so it's kind of the wild, wild west, and it shouldn't be, because it's like, well, we've been here before, and now we have a vaccine. So it just, to me, feels like all this back and forth is just like we really didn't learn shit.
No.
Because humans are going to destroy each other.
It's like, what's it gonna take, bro? Losing a whole football season? Is that what the breaking point is?
Well, they proved they're not willing to lose a football season.
That's what I'm saying. So
Sickness be damned. Like, if the NFL got past MRSA, they're like, okay, we can get past COVID. We beat MRSA. Like they scrubbed down that. No, they scrubbed down that whole fucking Cleveland Browns facility. Like, the lawsuits got settled. Nobody talks about that shit anymore. But like, a gang of people got MRSA.
It wasn't that many, bro.
It was like 3-4 players and then staffers too. But
It wasn't that many. No, it wasn't hundreds
okay,
of
bro.
thousands
If
of
7
people.
people get MRSA, that's kind of a fucking problem in an NFL team.
Yeah, people ain't washing themselves.
Dog, people go in the shower in and out. Even if you're like just a towel boy, like, you can catch MRSA on accident. You didn't even do shit.
Yeah, if you don't wash yourself and wash your hands, yeah, you can.
Yes,
you get it anyway.
But that's my point. Sickness is everywhere. So, like with Treader, he was like, "Well, if we're the to prove that you're not vaccinated, you're wearing a mask already. So to do that is just further ostracizing people. But then it goes back to, well, let's say Baker Mayfield or whoever on the team.
It's your
important
choice
player-
not to get the vaccine, bro. Like,
But you have to deal with the outcome. And let's say if that
Exactly. That's how
outcome
it
affects
is.
other people, then
And you're
Now we
out in
got-
a shitload of
there
money.
are people out there in the
That's why those
Twitterverse
coaches
who
were like,
think that
"Fuck
you
that,
shouldn't
you
even
get
get a bed if you're not vaccinated, bro.
damn.
And you're not high risk.
I don't even want to go deep down that dark Twitterverse. Because there's
It's
some
not that deep, bro.
now, like the endless amounts of tweets. It's like, yo, this is a lot.
There's a lot of people that think that, bro.
Yeah. Sometimes I just like to avoid
Next time.
Twitter black holes because it's pretty fucking dark.
Offensive coordinator says Brady is a 2 who can't carry a team, quote unquote.
Don't you love unnamed sources?
Yeah, no shit.
Who is this? The Patriots offensive coordinator?
Joe
Some-
Judge. Oh shit. That's
Probably the
rough.
Dolphins offensive coordinator who used to work at the Patriots. I don't know.
Adam Gase? Who knows? Bottom line is, I
He
could
won a
kind
Super
of agree
Bowl,
with
bro.
the sentiment because he also
But
said
he
Brady's
won a
one of the
fucking
greatest of
Super
all
Bowl,
time.
bro.
But he's like, if you look at it, you said you go back and watch them play. They played bad on offense sometimes, but their defense was always great, and they could run the ball. So really, it was like a couple passes here and there. Brady didn't do all that. Like anybody could have done that. It wasn't just Brady. Brady didn't lead them to a Super Bowl. That's what pretty much the quote said. Like he's a 2. He wouldn't do that on any other team.
I think Tampa's defense was phenomenal, but
Elite.
I think Tom Brady took him to the Super Bowl last year.
He got them over the hump, but
But
I
the
mean,
whole thing
if
is,
you
bro, the whole thing we
if you
talk
put Lamar
about.
Jackson in that offense, do they go to the Super Bowl and win it?
All right, hold on, bro. Here's the thing.
Hell yeah! if you
What
put
do
Lamar
they
Jackson
tell
on that
you?
offense.
What do they tell you about football from when you're fucking little, when you first start playing football? What do they tell you?
Need all
bro?
22.
Besides that, they tell you
Chemistry
50% of the game is fucking mental, bro.
and luck.
Half the game is mental. If half the game is mental, then having somebody like Tom Brady, even if you're saying is not doing the physical load that he should or can, he's making up for it with that mental part. Like we saw what an athletic number 1 pick will do in that offense. 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Now, to be fair, maybe in year 2 in Aaron's team, Jameis probably would have been better. Like fact, he probably would have been better with those weapons.
Maybe he would have
He would have been better. Yeah. But either way, we know that with Tom Brady, that team who probably took a step back talent-wise at that position went up in every other category. Like, that's not a coincidence. And I'm not a Tom Brady stan. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I hate the dude, but like, come on, man.
Gotta give respect where it's deserved.
Exactly, dude. I've been watching the Raiders for fucking 28 years. I haven't seen a franchise quarterback. Like, if I had, it would be great. But when you have one, they bring more than just the physical elements. They bring the intangibles. That's why they go number 1 overall. That's why when a player like Andrew Luck suddenly retires, your whole organization is up in fucking flux.
Like Jacoby Brissett is a good bridge player, but he's not a franchise guy.
And that's just what it is. But and to your point about Lamar, it's not that they wouldn't have been good with Lamar Jackson. They would have just been a much different team. And I don't know if that would have played as well.
That would have been a scary ass offense. Like if Aaron Rodgers, I feel like here's the thing. Any elite talent and you put them in that circumstances, they're gonna win.
It's just like putting
Brady
Russell Westbrook on the Lakers, bro.
No, it's definitely
Like it looks good in your head,
I mean,
but there's only one ball, bro. And
like Paul George on the
and a
Clippers?
game is a fucking. You sound stupid, bro.
And I just like shitting on the Clippers every chance I get. It wasn't even a take.
All I'm trying to say is like, if you look at it, bro, teams like look at going back to basketball. Look at the Lakers. Look at the players that they traded away, and look at what they've done since they've traded away.
And all the guys who got better once they got away from the Lakers.
Yeah, it's not just like
Kuzma gonna be.
You can't just fucking put things together on paper. It doesn't always work that easily. Like, there's only one ball. There's a bunch of personalities, and you all have to coexist and synergize.
Like the Eagles' dream team, quote unquote. Everybody
Never
thought
did.
that was gonna.
Like how they never did.
I'm just like, who thought Vince Young was gonna do?
All right, next topic.
Actually, it was one last thing. So Kelvin Benjamin, converted tight end, got cut literally like right on the practice field by the Giants, by Joe Judge and their GM.
Is that the
gentleman?
Is that the coach or the tight end coach or what?
Joe Judge is the Giants head coach.
Yeah.
And he went on a whole tirade about him. He was like, he's a shitty coach, horrible person. All he does is cuss at people. Like, we're humans. Like, we can talk. We can converse. We can learn from each other. Like, all he does is dog cuss people. He'll never win a Super Bowl that way. He's not even that good of a coach. And people are, like, already writing pieces saying, oh, Benjamin's busted out. It's like, he apparently was doing pretty good in camp as a converted tight end. And honestly, there's too many tight ends on that roster anyway, so he wasn't going to make it. But to cut a guy 5 minutes, like he's in his practice gear on the field, you walk up to him and say, yeah, we're releasing you. That's unprofessional as hell. And David Gettleman is not above doing something like that.
And Kelvin Benjamin isn't above being a petty scorn lover either.
Two things can be true.
Like,
I'm just saying, I hope Kelvin Benjamin gets another shot.
Like,
because
he's probably not
don't
wrong.
fire me like on the day the other day of training camp. You gonna fire me? You gonna let me put the pads on? Give me the jersey. You gonna let me go out there and then fire me right before practice starts? What kind of bullshit is that? That's like
I said, I don't think he's
unprofessional.
wrong, but
that's worse than Hard Knocks.
I also don't know if I would have went screaming and crying about it to the media if you're trying to get a new job.
I mean,
Because where's he from again?
he went to Florida State.
No, Judge.
He came from the Patriots under Bill Belichick, which
is like a quarter of the league.
And most of those coaches.
So he
failed.
pretty much
most of
just
those
took.
coaches failed.
So he pretty much just took himself out a quarter of the league.
Matt Patricia was a failure as a head coach.
They're
Joe
still
Judge-
around. Those guys are still around the
As
league.
coordinators.
Who makes roster decisions and input? Coordinators and position coaches.
I think he can still catch on to a team. Might have to go to practice squad.
He's not
bro.
catching on another team, bro.
Might have to hit up Miami. You never know. But what do you do to warrant being cut 5 minutes before practice starts while you're on the field stretching? That's
Probably
a
just-
failure. That's not good business on the part of the organization. You can't tell me that's good business. The Patriots weren't doing stuff like that to people.
Yeah.
They might sign you, bring you in. They might sign like Reggie
Adjacent,
Wayne
bro.
retired when he
And
realized
Andre
I ain't got-
Johnson too, bro.
They brought in Andre Johnson.
Yeah. Didn't they have
Patriots?
Andre Johnson? Yeah.
No, he was on the Colts
Oh yeah, you're right. He was.
and the Titans.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's like, but they brought in Reggie Wayne, and he's like, all right, I can't do this shit no more. I'm gonna retire, dog. Because you're gonna cut me because I wasn't gonna make the team. I'm not what you're looking for. But that's fair. Like that's like, but he showed up and they said, oh, he's making great strides and doing really good, and then you cut him. I think it's how you handle that situation is bad. He probably was emotional and lit up. Because I mean, you fire me like that. That's disrespectful. No matter who you are, whether you're a Hall of Famer.
I think the other thing
last guy
though
on the
too.
bench.
I think
Don't
the
have
other
me-
thing
don't
though
cut
too.
me right before practice starts, bro. And
Is-
I'm already out there.
Like you said, maybe he was getting that positive feedback, but at the same time,
They're gonna call him a
he
bust.
knew he wasn't gonna make the team, bro. And I think that's the part that
He called out Judge.
That's
for
the part
his
that he's
unprofessional
having
behavior.
a rough thing with. I think is like,
Mhm.
yeah. On one hand, you should be excited because you're a converted player and you're making strides and you're coming back. But on the other hand, bro, you were a number 7 overall pick and 1,000-yard receiver,
He
and
was-
you were
no,
supposed
he
to be the
wasn't.
number
He
1.
was the 7th overall pick. Wasn't it Mike Evans?
Wasn't he? No, Mike Evans was 5, wasn't he?
Benjamin wasn't that high.
I think he was top 10, bro.
He was high up. But
He was higher than Odell, wasn't he?
nah.
Oh, he might have been in the 20s. I don't know. There was like 7 receivers that went that year.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was like one of the first big receiver years. All right.
He
Well,
said
my
it was-
phone
he said
said
it
I
was
can't even
all-
look.
Well, don't go into touchdown or turnover now.
Indeed, indeed. But he pretty much called the whole thing.
Tyreek Hill wants to race Usain Bolt.
Turnover, bro. Turnover. Stop wasting your time. Fight him in fucking Triller. Let's do that. I'd rather see that than you get smoked by Usain Bolt.
But I mean, if you're running a 40, he's probably faster in the 40.
I don't know, bro.
In the 100, you don't
Dog.
want those problems.
Usain Bolt said he ran a 4.2 in some fucking Air Forces and sweats, bro. Stop playing with him.
And he's a long strider.
Yeah.
You're the first person to be like, yeah, dog.
But Tyreek
He's
Hill
not
is
track speed. He's not track fast.
Tyreek Hill is different fast. Like, if let's say he lost some muscle and decided to get in a track shape,
Dog, Tyreek Hill is like a fucking pit bull running for its life to save its owners fast. Like he's just like fucking
he's Captain America.
animal wild fast, bro. Like
he's Captain America with Thor's hammer fast.
like he's just has
It
that
makes no sense how he got
effort,
faster.
bro.
He
Yeah,
gets
like, he
faster
just-
and faster every time we see him.
Yeah, pretty much. But Usain Bolt is like literally a fucking spaceship in light speed.
Pretty much. I mean,
All right.
oh wait. Oh, so Joe Judge told Benjamin he's gonna fine him for showing up to training camp overweight.
He did look overweight.
251 when he got there, 268 for camp.
Good lord.
But he passed the conditioning test.
Got that FUBU in the process.
Moving on. Tate Martell transferred to UNLV after swing and miss 3 times. He's a Las Vegas high school football legend.
So, former QB out of Bishop Gorman. There's a whole series on him on Netflix. He committed to Washington, then decommitted. Then committed to like 2 other places, then decommitted. Then Ohio State, then got beat out by Justin Fields. Said don't miss, and then transferred to Miami, and then was supposedly at receiver and QB, and then missed there. And now he's back in his home state at UNLV, probably the only place he can play.
Woo!
And they got-
some shit goes full circle.
They got some 3 and 4 star QBs at UNLV too. And the offensive coordinator was Arroyo, who was offensive coordinator who coached Justin Herbert at Oregon. So they're building something there too. Shout out to former Lawndale High legend, who's up there. I think they got a couple cats from Lawndale up there at UNLV. And then a former Sarah QB up there. But yeah. Also, the quarterback. Yeah, I know that's New Mexico. Never mind. The quarterback for Kentucky, Terry Taylor, transferred to New Mexico. So he's pretty good. And they got a transfer from Missouri at New Mexico. So I guess you have a reason to watch New Mexico football now.
Other than tears and sadness.
Tears for Years and Bob
Yeah.
Davies.
Yeah. And
I like
last
their uniforms.
Mexico.
Yeah, they look like UNLV.
Yeah.
They look exactly the same.
Yeah, especially when you play NCAA. You're like,
yeah.
when you put the red spats on them, the shoes turn white. That's the best part. Black cleats should really be outlawed.
Mm.
Nah, I like black.
I wore
cleats.
black cleats.
Okay,
black
if you
cleats
wear
are
black
nice,
cleats
bro.
with like a spat that looks stupid.
Black cleats look
cleats,
cool if
are
you
cool.
have- if you have colored
team's
uniforms.
Yeah, my team's colors were black, silver, and turquoise. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. See, that's cool. I fuck with that.
What kind of turquoise?
Turquoise, damn it! Not like this some weird teal beige
man.
bullshit. It's
Hey, man.
turquoise. I'm from New
Sometimes
Mexico.
orange
God
might
damn
be
it!
flamingo. You never know. There's all these weird ass colors.
Fucking turquoise.
You think it's pink? You think it's pink? It's apricot or some shit. It's strawberry cheesecake. He got triggered
Holy
fast.
shit, bro. Damn.
It's like the Torrance Tartars. They have those ugly ass dark blue uniforms for years. It was like, what can you do with their color scheme? It's not their fault.
Nah, they had that fucking maroon shit. That
Yeah, it was gross.
A&M shit.
It was almost nasty. Like Bishop Montgomery had a chance to have elite uniforms. They had black and I think gold. And it's just whatever.
All right, so that's it.
No, Braden
Yeah.
Smith, tackle for the Indianapolis Colts, just got a 4-year, $72 million contract extension, $42 million guaranteed,
I
with
think at
$70
this
million
point-
in new money.
At this point, Kenny just puts offensive lineman extensions on the rundown out of spite to me.
I put it in the first part of the show, and let's talk about it. You switched it to fucking touchdown and turnover. I don't know why you are a former offensive lineman. You hate seeing offensive linemen getting paid. You a hater.
Nah, it's more. I just hate when the offensive linemen
When Colts linemen get paid, you hate
take 30 minutes on the first part of the show.
is it a touchdown and turnover that he got paid?
I'm going to say it's a touchdown because we've seen what Wentz looks like with a hobbled offensive line in Philadelphia. So you got to give him something in Arizona, and they just lost their starting left tackle to retirement. And they got a bunch of semi-athletic bums all competing to fill out the rest of the offensive line. So touchdown, why not? Kenny?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I just saw a Lakers take that really pissed me off and scared me at the same time. They really better get DeMar DeRozan or it's over.
So they can have another
They
player
need
who doesn't
shooters.
shoot.
No, he shoots mid ranges.
He doesn't shoot like
He
that,
shoots
bro.
mid range jumpers. All you gotta do is give him the green light to just shoot mid range.
Anyways.
Because they unless they get snipers.
All right. Is this your rant?
Three.
Are you going to talk about the Lakers for your rant?
Nah.
All right, then I want to hear it.
That's fair.
All right, Eric, you want to start?
Yeah.
Oh wait, what's his face? Jalen Green was really out here wearing fucking bell bottoms at the NBA draft.
Bell bottoms?
Yeah.
Rice is making a fucking comeback.
It was gross. You go look at it. He got drafted by the Houston Rockets.
Bell bottoms and turquoise, baby.
No, he had a like fucking silver, sparkling silver with bell bottoms and fucking
Like
platform shoes.
like Nature Boy style or what?
Nature Boy with the poof. You gotta go look at it. It was drip, but it's like, why you got poof? Why you got the bell bottoms at the bottom? It was uncomfortable.
That's weird.
Made me uncomfortable to look at.
That's weird. All right, well, moving on.
Go ahead.
To the east side?
Just you know what, like life just tends to keep happening, and it's been a crazy year. And you know the whole thing that we were trying to avoid the whole
Oh,
time
shit.
was
You did, stupid.
really COVID, and it hit my home finally. And so you know we keep telling you, Kenny, and I'm just going to say it again one more time, just go get vaccinated. It's not a big deal. And whatever excuse you got, get over your excuse. And we can all get back to normal. Because that's all we want. To get back to normal. Go to concerts. Go to bars. Not look at somebody. Just judge them by the color of their skin instead of their vaccination like we used to do. You know, not judging them by if they're Republicans or Democrats or God knows what else. It's just now we're judging people by their vaccination. Just go fucking do it.
Mormons.
It's not that hard. And if it does happen to you, then you just get a little sick. But the thing is, until you are slightly
If anything-
vaccinated.
Nah, never mind.
But that's all I got. Kenny, go get fucking vaccinated.
All right. So on that note, I don't really have much more. Like it's football season, training camp's here. Finally, it's starting. If you get a chance, go out there and watch your Rams and your Chargers. They're both having open practices if you're vaccinated. The Raiders, I guess, sold out, so I won't be able to see them. But I'm hoping to get to the Chargers next week. Yeah. Other than that, man, be in Vegas this weekend.
Are
Some-
Raiders still training in Napa?
some R&R? No, fortunately. They're in Henderson because there's a lot of great stuff going on in Henderson. But yeah, hey, they have a nice facility. So there's that. And I'm going to have to learn how to say his name. Like, I'm going to have to. Ngoku?
Goku.
He said in Goku.
In Goku we trust.
Yannick? Yannick Ngoku?
Yakwe.
Ngakwe. Yannick Ngakwe looks sick,
How
bro.
did you just
He
say
looks sick.
Did you say guacamole?
He looks sick, bro.
He said in guacwe.
He looks sick. Like, he looks awesome, bro.
I mean, I said that when he was coming out of college.
Yeah, but to even just see him now, bro, see his approach, like the way he plays, the way he trains.
You know,
I haven't seen a Raiders defensive lineman like that
since Khalil
since
Mack.
maybe Richard Sherman and Richard Seymour.
How you just
And even
disrespect
him
Khalil
was
Mack?
more like. But the difference is Khalil Mack was a young player, right? So he was learning and trying to get that edge and developing into a leader. Like, that's different than what this is. Like, this dude's already been a stud. He's already coming to a new team, and he's bringing his approach with him.
You realize Khalil Mack was better than all the linebackers
I'm not saying he's
Lineman
better than
on
Khalil
the
Mack.
team the moment he got drafted.
I'm not
right?
saying he's Khalil Mack. What I'm saying is, like, as far as his approach,
he's like Derek Burgess.
nah, he's
They're
just
around
like,
the same height.
I don't know, bro. He's different. Like, he's just moving at a different speed than everybody else out there.
'Cause
And you could say that about Khalil Mack, but it was different because he was young, like high drafted, athletic specimen. Like that's what he was supposed to do. And to an extent, I mean, he is too. But I've just seen too many. The Raiders spend money on too many free agents who don't have that same immediate impact. And I guess I'm just happy to see it, even though it's just shorts and t-shirt clips. It's finally feels like the Raiders are actually building something on defense. Like for the first time ever. They said Arnett looks good. They said Ruggs looks good. It says they look like they've been working on their bodies. So that's the thing, man. I think especially now in this younger generation is finally starting to understand like how important nutrition and rest is. Like our generation was all about just raw and go and hustle culture. But it's like now these guys are starting to get the rest and nutrition. And that's how you can really see the players who make it and don't make it. It's like the players who change their lifestyle and really become serious about it. You see it in their nutrition and really their performance eventually. So, yeah, that's it. Nutrition. Drink water.
So Yannick came out in the 26th.
Even know how to shake before this fucking show. And now he's really mad at me because I had a shake. Even though he saw me had a shake, he just
I had a shake
it.
before you had a shake, so I'm fine.
What a dick. You didn't even tell me you that.
I definitely didn't.
I was wondering why you weren't triggered. I thought you were just
It was
repressing it.
way earlier. In
I
the
thought
day.
you were just repressing it and saving it for the end.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna make let's get a shake. Oh wait, Pete already got one because he's an asshole and didn't console me.
But you had it from Wiener Schnitzel, so that doesn't really count.
It's because you never want to go there for shakes.
Because the ratio of ice cream to candy in the shake is always terrible. And you suffered through that today. So you came in and said that.
Yeah, I don't usually get M&Ms. And they
should.
should be noted, it's M&M minis. Don't say it's M&Ms if it's M&M minis. Totally different thing.
I mean,
It's like going and ordering a Budweiser and they give you a Bud Light. Like, it's different, bro.
Someone's kind of offended. All I know is Yannick came out in the 2016 draft. You want to know who the Raiders took that year?
No, not Colt Miller.
Carl Joseph.
Carl Joseph.
And let's see who was in front of him or who came. See, Kenny Clark was available.
Oh, so this is your rant.
Yeah, pretty much. Kenny Clark was available. Emmanuel Ogba. Xavier Howard was available. Sterling Shepard. Chris Jones. Jalen Smith. Hunter Henry. Derrick Henry. Ashawn Robinson. Michael Thomas. Deion Jones. Cody Whitehair. Tyler Boyd. James Bradbury. Oh, yeah, and Carl
Half
Nassib.
the players you're naming aren't that good.
Carl Nassib. Oh, Kevin Byard, who was an All-Pro. And Carl Nassib went in the third round. Before Yannick, he went like 4 picks before Yannick. So, there you go. So pretty much, yeah, man. Come out this Saturday. Good News Sports Showcase. Touchdowns and Tangents. We're going to be going up first. 5:30 to 8. Tap in with us. I mean, us really, it'll just be me because Pete's going to Vegas to get blackout drunk, I guess. Oh, my sister said something in the chat. Hey, sis.
She called you Whopper Nick.
Shout out to my nephew. I'm pretty much like have a sixth sense when he's just gonna shit his pants. I just give him back to his mom. It's the best feeling ever. But hey, your baby over here shitting. Here you go. But yeah, that's it. Good News Sports Joxer Daily. Good News Sports Showcase. Tap in with us. It'll be fun.
All right, y'all. Well, have a great week. Thank you for fucking with us. Shout out to X Squad. Shout out to the Good News. Shout out to the Good News Sports. Shout out to FBC Radio. Stay safe. get vaccinated.
One day we should go back to doing episodes where we don't curse.
Nah,
I
Yeah,
feel like we haven't
yeah.
been cursing as much.
I feel like we definitely dropped a lot of
I
F-bombs.
cursed a bit today.
You definitely cursed out of anger. And apparently your high school color